Here we are to day 5 of Baby Steps to Drawing Success. Thank you for being here. And I hope you are enjoying it. Let's do a teeny little recap a little bit. You now know that draw means to pull. Yeah, we've taken you through quite a bit. Yeah. And the big thing is to learn to see in a new way, to see with the kind of the innocence of a little child who really hasn't learned to name anything yet, because that's such a biggie. You know, we get so, I just seen it hundreds of times, this getting bogged down and getting stuck on the name of something. And then thinking in third dimension, which is part of the naming of things, when really all we can depict is 2 dimensions. So how do we move on from that? Because when Monet was talking about paint a square of blue, or a triangle of green, a streak of yellow, and things like that, you know, he's talking about simplifying. And that is another one of the keys, is simplifying. And when we get into simplifying, this is when you'll start to see in most of your how to draw books and tutorials, as they kind of dive into where we are now. And I wanted you to get the baby steps of just understanding what the word draw means, and taking the mystery out of that and all. So when we're talking about simplifying, we're talking about what Monet was talking about, which is seeing the verticals, the horizontals, the diagonals, to see rectangles and squares and triangles and circles, and those things, the simple things, because everything that exists is made up of simple lines and shapes, but they can become very complex visually. And that's what makes it hard for people to conceive of the idea that they can't draw, because they see complexity. And we need to train ourselves to see what is simple. And it's true of anything you go into, is that we can get very, very complex, but we need to see simple first, because there's so many answers to be found in that which is simple. We get philosophical on you here. So we started talking about making the complex simple yesterday by seeing squares and circles and rectangles with color, but just as easily with drawing. And as I said, you know, most of your books, they start out with these symbols of shapes, but I want you to always remember we have the horizontal line. And the horizontal line is so important. I start every kind of teaching with the horizontal line, whether it's drawing or painting, because the horizontal line represents Earth. It represents the foundation we stand on. It represents gravitational pull. It represents the horizon line, the horizontal line, the big one. And you're going to use it over and over and over in everything. I've seen some really beautiful abstract and expressionist paintings that are emphasizing just the horizontal line. And especially if you put it in a horizontal orientation, it depicts that connection with the earth, which is a stability, which helps us to feel calm. That's why when we, you know, if you've ever seen a wide open space, an ocean, you see that stretch of horizon line, and it's calming, unless it's a stormy day, but we won't go there. So we have the horizontal line, we have the vertical line. We can think of it that way, because that's more like, you know, talking about the earth plane. And vertical lines, okay, trees, sides of buildings, the vertical line. So we use it all the time. We also see a lot of diagonals. So diagonals are very important. But then you start putting these together, and that's when you get your squares and your rectangles and your vertical rectangles. And I teach a lot about this in my classes. And then of course, you get circles and ovals and different kinds of triangles. And you will find that as you look at things with an innocent eye, you will start to see these things more and more and more. And you'll see combinations of these things. And it's really, really amazing when you soften up your vision and you ask your mind to see what is simple. And it's kind of like a little game you get to play inside your brain. Is this, you're asking objects, okay, what is your simple shape? When you relax like that and you ask objects, well, what are you? What is your simple shape? Oh, and you draw that simple shape. It makes it so much easier. And then little by little, we can add on some of the more complex aspects that are part of that object or whatever that thing is that you're looking at. And it really is key to start with the simple. And you'll see that on all kinds of drawing classes on YouTube and elsewhere. But it's I don't think they usually explain it quite that way, but it's you've got to start with the simple. And then the next step, there are always next steps. So, but this, practice seeing simple. Simplify, simplify, simplify. And it's all in two-dimension illusion anyway, what we're doing. And even our little friend, the cup, you know, if we just think of it as a couple of verticals, a couple of horizontals, and an oval, and you've got something there. And if you want to make it with a couple of a half oval, a full oval, and a couple of verticals, and you just keep playing with it that way, and just keep going. Maybe this is the end of this 5 days, but we're going to keep going anyway. You know, I'll keep this group of videos up. You can watch them over again. And of course, I'm going to be teaching a beginner's drawing class. So I'll tell you more about that later. And remember, tomorrow we're doing a live Q&A. I'm going to be here live, and you can ask me some questions, and I'll talk more about these other things. Right now, I just invite you to keep drawing and draw simple shapes. Rewire your brain so that you trust your eyes. See things as two-dimensional, and ask your eyes to tell you what the simple shape is for whatever it is you're looking at. And you will find yourself recognizing them more and enjoying it more and having more of that experience. And then put your photos of, just do a page like this, and then do a page of maybe a couple or 3 objects, and take a couple of photos and post them in the comment section. And tomorrow we'll have a drawing to win a place in my beginner's drawing class coming up in September. And it'll be fun. Okay. So I'll have a live after this video, and you can ask some more questions then. And then tomorrow I'll have a live where you can just ask anything you want. Okay. So keep on drawing, keep pulling that pen, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. And I hope that this has busted up that belief system telling you you can't draw, because you can draw. Okay. All right. Bye for now.